Andrew is located at point A, -5, 5, on a coordinate grid. He travels in a straight line towards his friend Bill at point B, 4, -3. Just as he gets halfway to Bill, he turns and goes to pick up his friend Carlos at point C, -2, -5. Andrew and Carlos then proceed to Bill. How far does Andrew travel in total? Each unit represents 100 meters. For this question, we have to use the midpoint formula to calculate the midpoint, M, of line segment AB. This corresponds to the point at which Andrew turns and starts walking towards Carlos. Point A at -5, 5, and B at 4, -3. Drawing the line segment between points A and B, the midpoint is midway between points A and B. We can apply the distance formula 3 times to calculate the lengths of line segments AM, MC, and CB. First, inserting point C, we can then see line segment AM, MC, and CB as the path walked by Andrew. We can then add the lengths of all 3 line segments, AM, MC, and CB, to get the total distance traveled by Andrew. First of all, to figure out the midpoint. The midpoint is simply the average x-coordinate, -5 plus 4, divided by 2, and the average y-coordinate, 5 plus -3, divided by 2. This gives point M the midpoint between A and B as -1/2, 1. We can then figure out all of the distances. First of all, the distance between A and M, dAm. Using the distance formula, we take the difference in the x-coordinates and square them, plus the difference in the y-coordinates and square them. This gives the square root of 20.25 plus 16, or the square root of 36.25, which is rounded to 3 decimal places, 6.021. For the distance between M and C, again using the distance formula, the x-coordinates squared, then the difference in the y-coordinates squared. We end up with the square root of 2.25 plus 36, which is the square root of 38.25, or 6.185 to 3 decimal places. Finally, the distance from C to B. Again, we take the difference in the x-coordinates and square them, and add the difference in the y-coordinates squared, and take the square root. This gives us the square root of 36 plus 4, or the square root of 40, which is 6.325 to 3 decimal places. The total distance that Andrew walks is then 6.021 plus 6.185 plus 6.325. This gives us 18.53 units. We then must realize that each unit represents 100 meters. We can use a conversion factor then to convert from units to meters, giving a total distance of 1,853 meters.